Hi everyone, it's Jen, and I'm going to show you how to apply text or heading styles, and sometimes we just call them styles for short. The first style I would like to apply is the title style, and I want you to note that beforehand we centered this text. So you can see it's centered. It is Calibri body 11. And you can see that in the styles menu here, it is selected as normal text. So Word identifies all of this as body text. Even if I select it and make it giant and I make it bold and centered, Word doesn't know that that's the title unless I apply a style. And you can edit the formatting after you apply the style, but selecting it and making it the style will tell Word this is the title of my document. So I'm going to head into my styles group and open up the menu, and I can see right here is title, and I can get a live preview of what it's going to look like. And I'm going to just click on it, and you can see it realigned my text to the left because that's what the style does. It made it all caps. It made it dark blue. It made it size 36. So it did a lot of formatting to me in one click and makes it look pretty nice, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and click inside here for the subtitle. And I want you to note that I don't have to click and drag to select the whole thing. I'm just clicking somewhere in that line. And I'm going to head to the styles menu and apply the subtitle style. And please note that there is a style called subtle emphasis, and sometimes people, or subtle reference. So just pay attention, this is the subtitle. There, I selected it, it formatted it, and I want you to note that because these are special styles, because this is a title, for example, if I press enter afterwards, notice how it switches back to the normal style, to body text, because it doesn't think I'm going to keep typing in that format. This is also part of the formatting that is applied when you use these styles, which is very helpful. Next, I want to apply some heading styles. So remember, I'm going to use these to organize my document, and I want to apply my heading ones first. So my first heading one is early education, education and early career. So I'm going to head there, and I'm going to click on heading 1, and you can see that it's made it nice and large and blue. And I'm going to continue on applying my heading styles. Now, I want to tell you about using your function keys again. So we have used this in the past, the magical F4 key. F4 will repeat your last action. So depending on your keyboard, you may also have a function key that you have to press. So that's usually says Fn on it. So if you're using the F key function, you may have to hold that down while you press that. But the last step I've taken here is applying heading 1. So when I scroll down here, I'm going to skip all these heading 2s, and I'm going to find academic and industry rules. And I'm just going to click inside here, and I'm going to hold down my function key and press F4. And it applies the heading style. Now, if I'd done anything else, like I pressed space or save or something like that, it's going to repeat that instead of applying the heading style. So make sure that you're applying the heading style and then using your F4 function key at the top of your keyboard above the numbers. Again, I'm going to do this for awards and honors. And you could see I can do this very quickly if I just keep scrolling down, and also for books. Now I'm ready to apply my heading 2 styles. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to start by applying heading 2, and then I'll scroll down for a bit here. I'll find IDEO, and I'll use my function key to apply that again, as well as Cooper Hewitt, and apply that again. And make sure that you save. Now I've zoomed out and I can see how the headings have increased readability for my report. My title is really distinct. My heading 1s are larger than my heading 2s. Everything is pretty clearly broken up. I can scroll to see my other pages. It really has created some good clarity. So I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jen, you know what? I don't like blue. I don't want all my headings to be blue. I like other colors. I like other formats. Well, have I got a treat for you? What we're going to learn about next are themes. I'm going to head over here to the Design tab. Now, what we are working in now is called the Office theme. This is the theme that is the default theme that you get anytime you open up your document. However, there are lots of other pre-programmed themes, and many businesses create their own themes. You can create your own theme when you learn those skills. So that all of their documents have a consistent look. And that way you don't have one person submitting a report that has the logo to the right and has the font and in one color and looks totally different from everybody else's work. This way a business or an association can go ahead and create something that looks consistent quickly and easily. So if you click here on the theme menu in the design ribbon, you can see, even if I hover over these pre-formatted themes, that because I have used my styles, the headings and text automatically change. Now, if I hadn't used my styles to apply heading styles, I would not get this effect because only the text would change, the main body text. So you would just see a little bit of a change. You can see there are tons of different themes in here, and you can import themes, create themes, but that's for another day. Today, we're going to go ahead and select a theme for this tutorial, which is called Integral. So you can see the names of the themes here. Another little hint is that sometimes it takes a while for the themes to load in the menu. So if you click on your theme menu and you only see like 5 in there, just click out of it and click back again. And sometimes it's just taking a minute for the themes to load. So I'll go ahead and apply that. And you can see that this changed my body text. It changed my headings. It's still a blue color because that's the one I chose this time. It has turquoise and blue. Notice if I head to the Home tab and open up the Styles menu, all the styles have been updated to appear as the new theme. And that's what happens. So the theme dictates the way that the styles look, but it doesn't change the actual style. This is still a title, so it gives it the title formatting. This is still a subtitle, so it gives it the subtitle formatting. So if you want to think about this, the theme is like the theme of a party. So if you have a Spider-Man party, maybe everything is going to be blue and red, or if you have a Halloween party, maybe it's orange and black, or maybe you're having a fancy dinner party and you're going to have everything be in a champagne color. But here you can see that doesn't change, that every party has decorations and plates and napkins. Just the color of the plates and the color and the format and the style of it, the way that it looks would change. So again, I still have here a subtitle. You can see it's still formatted as subtitle. This is still a heading 1. It just looks different because the theme dictates the way that the styles look. And that is working with themes and styles.